Good morning, everybody. It is day 42 of the suffering. So I figured I'm going to go ahead and do some deep tissue work on my quads and talk to you guys. I don't do cardio and I don't train on Sundays. This Sunday is actually Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there who's a dad. I am down another 2 pounds. So today I am 213. Last week I was 215. So I had another 2 pound weight loss this week, which is great. That puts me at, I think, 22 pounds total for the last 6 weeks because Thursday was 6 weeks. I have six more to go. Or end of week 5, I have 6 weeks, something like that. Anyways, I have 6 more weeks to go until the end of this. And some days I'm feeling optimistic and I feel like I'm going to hit my goal. And then other days I feel very pessimistic, like it's not going to happen. I'm going to fall short. Things aren't going to go my way, and it's just my body just won't cooperate. It's just up and down roller coaster. And these videos, like guys, I've been following fitness and reading the muscle and fitness magazines and Flex and muscle development and reading articles and watching videos and following the newest and greatest science and everything else. Used to be a competitive powerlifter. And I know there's a bunch of different ways to go, and I get in my head a lot and I overthink a lot of things. And it gets frustrating because, like, you see some of these guys, and trying not to compare yourself to other people and their progress is difficult because you'll see someone else and how much progress they made and how big they've gotten and how muscular they are in a short amount of time or very little bit of effort. And then they're like, oh, yeah, this is how you need to train your chest to get a big chest. But it's like, yeah, man, I've done that. I've done that for years and it didn't work. And like I've tried everything: high volume, low volume, high intensity. There's a few routines that it's hard to tell if it worked, especially when I was powerlifting because I was fat, man. I was 270 to 290 when I was powerlifting. I had a lot of body fat, but I was strong and I had 19-inch arms. So I had a lot of body fat, but I had 19-inch arms, big old thick barrel chest, and that all went away once I started losing the fat. So it's just like, okay, well, how much was fat? How much was muscle? Because I could go back to training like that, but I don't want to get hurt. And honestly, I don't want to lift heavy like that no more, to be completely frank. I like lifting heavy. I would air quote if I wasn't holding this, but I don't want to have to strain the way I used to strain on sets of 1 to 3. It's just not worth it to me at this point anymore. Plus, bodybuilding isn't about how much weight you can move. It's about growing the muscle and engaging it. But anyways, like I was saying, so I don't know if some people understand why I do the posing routines, but the reason why I do the posing routines on Friday is because I like to show my progress of what I'm making week to week. There's a lot of guys that hide behind good lighting and gimmicky angles, and they only show their bodies when they're on a pump, like when they have a pump, when they're in the best lighting, oiled up or whatever. And then you get this like idea of like, holy crap, this dude always looks amazing, but it's really just like angles and lightings. And at his best moment, I show it all. Like first thing in the morning, right out of bed, when I'm doing the Stairmaster, when I'm cooking my food, I show you how fat I am. I show you how gross I am. I show you all my imperfections and everything that's wrong with my body and what I need to work on. But the difference is I'm not at the top. I'm far from it. I'm still way down the bottom. But every single week, I'm showing the progression. I'm showing the improvement that I'm making by being committed and dedicated and sticking to it. All right. It's been 42 days that I've been doing this exact diet and this training program, and the program is working. The dieting is working. I questioned it a lot in my head, and I debated a lot if this is the best choice, this is the best diet, this is the best routine. And I debated a whole lot, but it doesn't mean I'm going to change and I'm going to stop doing it. I'm going to keep doing it because I do that with everything. I'm an overthinker. Like I'll do a routine for 3 weeks, and then I'll start contemplating if I made a mistake by changing and if I should go back to what I was doing before. And this is the way to go. And that's why I write out all my diets, all my programs, and I have like a 3 month plan, normally 12-month plan. Sorry, a 12-week plan, 10-week plan, because if I'm training myself and I'm not hiring a coach, which I don't, I know I'm going to start questioning and guessing everything I'm doing. So I like to have it all pre-planned and written out. So no matter how I feel emotionally, I stick to it. What I'm going to do after this cut, that's still debatable and questionable. I think I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do after this cut, and I'm going to run that program and that diet for probably 3 months and see the progress that I make with that, and then make an assessment and adjust if I need to adjust. Everything is just an educated guess when it comes to this. Some guys they guess right the first time and they nail it. Other guys they spend years trying to figure it out. And consistency is what people talk and preach about, and consistency is very important. But correct consistency is important. If you're consistently doing the wrong thing, you're going to consistently get lousy results. People also talk about like your diet doesn't have to be this difficult. You don't have to make it this hard on yourself. I know, guys. I know. I appreciate the concern and I appreciate the feedback on letting me know this. I used to do intermittent fasting and I would eat fast food. 2,500 calories a day eating Taco Bell, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, KFC, Sonic, and I would lose weight eating those kind of foods. I know you don't have to eat like this. Trust me, I know. Um, I'm eating like this for my own reasons. The reasons being is one, I had elevated blood pressure. Now my blood pressure is 101 over 74 from 140, 145, 130, between 135, 140, and 80 to 85 to 95 is what my blood pressure was. Now it's 101 over 74 because I removed all the salt and the seasonings out of my foods. Did I have to do that? No, I could have just went on blood pressure medication. I don't want to be on blood pressure medication. I'll reduce the salt and the sodium, the seasonings, and go without that, and not have to be on a pill and go to the doctor and get prescriptions and stuff like that. No, thank you. I'd rather just reduce my sodium. Like, oh, how can you live life like that? You get used to it, and it's not bad. Like the flavor of the food, it's not bad at all. It's not terrible. I'm not like, oh my god, no salt, no seasoning. I just want to quit and give it. No, that's the easy part. The food itself has flavor. It's just it doesn't have that intense flavor of all the seasonings. And honestly, if you're seasoning chicken with garlic, then you're not eating chicken flavored chicken. You're eating garlic flavored chicken, which you're enjoying the flavor of the garlic, not the chicken. I like the flavor of chicken. I just don't like chicken breast. Kind of forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, and then as far as it goes for what I'm doing with my diet, I get my essential fatty acids through the form of olive oil, and I get about 45 grams a day of fat, 45, 50 grams a day of fat. I'm getting my carbs through a low glycemic index, slow absorbing carbohydrate, brown rice, and oatmeal. So that way it slowly digests and slowly absorbs throughout the day and it don't have a rapid spike of insulin. I'm not diabetic. I haven't been diabetic. I just wanted to go to brown rice. Plus, it's difficult to do. And then I went with chicken breast because chicken breast is very low in fat. I went with egg whites because egg whites is very, like, there's virtually no fat in egg whites. And then green beans because I enjoy green beans. I'm doing a protein shake as well just because it's simple to do after my workout. Now, do you have to eat like this? No. Do you need to eat like this? No. Does it work? Absolutely, it works. 22 pounds in 6 weeks. Yeah, it works. Fastest point from point A to point B is a straight line. And for me, this is a straight line. It's easier for me to cut everything out of my diet and just eat like this than it is to be like, well, I'll add this seasoning and that seasoning. I'll add this is a fun meal I'll bring, and this is a fun. I'm gonna spice this up, and I'm gonna do these avocados or this toast, and I'm gonna put this fat-free butter and use these pancake battered protein powdered battered pancakes. One, I like simplicity. I like keeping my diet as easy as I possibly can. I like having the least amount of ingredients, and I like being able to get my cook time down as low as I can. When you have a full time job and you have 3 kids and a wife, you cannot spend 3 hours a day in the kitchen cooking meals 30 every 3 hours, or even if you do 4 meals a day, you're spending 45 minutes prepping a meal. No, thank you. I'm not going through all that. I'm going to cook it in bulk all in one day and then divvy it out throughout the week. So that way I spend maybe 5 minutes a day prepping my food, and that's it. I'll spend Sunday with a minimum amount of effort boiling chicken and making some brown rice. And then the rest of the week, all I have to do is just divvy it out throughout the week. It works. It's not for everybody. And no, you don't have to do this. No, I don't have to do this, but it works for me and I don't mind doing it. Plus, I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could even do this because I did this whenever I was in my 20s and it worked really great. So it's just like, I just want to see if I'll do it again. If I can do it again, if I have what it takes to be able to do that. Because as you get older, things become more difficult and then you become softer in your older age, and things that were easy and not challenging become challenging and harder. And I just want to, I guess, feel like I'm 20 years old again, doing a diet for the first time, and oh man, that hurts right there so bad. Oh my goodness, that is one tight muscle. But anyways, I just kind of want to feel like I'm 20 again, I guess, and I feel young. 37 years old, but I feel young on this diet. Like I do, like I feel great. I'm hungry sometimes. I'm not hungry all day. And then I'm tired sometimes. I'm not tired all the time. I'm fatigued sometimes. I'm not fatigued all the time. It comes and goes just like with anything in life. It just depends on how life goes with the training because I can't control when I'm at work what I have to do for the day. I have to do my job. Like my kids want to go and play and do things. I'm going to go play and do things with my kids. So there's variables out there that I'm not really in control of and I don't want to control them. I just let them go where they go. But I control everything that I can control and I do my best at that. I do want to compete in bodybuilding one day. That is a dream of mine. I do want to compete. I know I'm fat. I know I'm gross. I know I don't look even remotely close to where I want to be, but it's a work in progress. Like I'm not these guys that show up after I trained in the shadows for X amount of time, and then all of a sudden I just so happen to respond very awesomely to whatever it was I was doing and then I pop up on camera jacked and ripped with 20-inch arms telling people this is how I got my arms, this is how I got big, this is how you grow your chest, this is how. But there's no video, there's no photos, there's no anything showing how they did it and how they went about it and how long it took and the process that it took them to do it. And the guys that do like competition videos when they compete, like they only show maybe one video a week and then it's very vague on what they show. Like I'm showing you guys everything. Everything. I'm not holding nothing back. I'm showing y'all 100% everything I'm doing. All my dieting, my food, my training, how I train, everything. When I make adjustments, why I make adjustments, even the mental side of things, how I feel emotionally, how I feel mentally, how I feel physically, how I'm doing with my mental state of things. Like if I'm getting like bummed out or feeling like I'm not achieving or if I'm underachieving or if things are going right or if I'm happy or whatever. I'm holding nothing back on this. Like I'm showing you guys me for who I am and what I'm doing and the progress that I'm making and how fast I'm making it with what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And this isn't to be like, look, if I could do it, you can do it too. It's just I wanted to document it. One, I like going back and rewatching these, and then two, I just like having something I could look back on and be like, oh yeah, I remember, and oh yeah, okay, well, what did I do at this time, or oh yeah, there I was, and everything else. Plus, some people find it entertaining, and I want to be able to entertain people too with my suffering and my progress and my agony. I like to bring a little bit of entertainment to some people, and I think some people out there are truly entertained by my videos. I think some people kind of roll their eyes, and other people are just like, "Yeah, dude, this is stupid. You don't have to be like this." Yeah, I don't have to be like this, but I am. You don't have to be like you either, but you are. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that you do in your life that I could look at and analyze and be like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to be like that. That's not what you need. I'm sure I could do that about your life too, but I'm not because, well, I don't care, and it is what it is. So I hold nothing back. I have nothing to hide. So it is what it is. This stuff hurts incredibly bad. I want to switch topics a little bit here. This bar weighs 50 pounds. For those of you who don't know, it's a piece of round stock. It's 3 inches in diameter and it's 2 foot long. And it weighs 50 pounds. And I try to do this for my deep tissue work. I have another one underneath the rack behind me that's 100 pounds. It's a 4 inch diameter. It's 100 pounds. But that one is a little bit too much for me to handle. I'm trying to get to the point where I can handle that one again because I used to, but I kind of let myself get all tight and bound and wound up and got a little restricted there on my movements. And then now I'm suffering from it and I'm having to do this deep tissue to try to get everything broken up and moving and working and loose. Also, I think I figured out what's going on with my knee. I think it's my tibialis. I think it's the muscle in front of the knee, below the knee, in front of the shin, below the knee. I think that this muscle here is what gets tight, and that's what causes all the stress in my knee whenever I'm working out, and then whenever I'm doing those deep hack squats that I like to do. I think it's that muscle that gets tight and it pulls wickedly on my knee and causes my knee to feel like it's going to explode. So I've been working diligently on getting it loose and trying to get it to relax. Oh man, my muscle just rolled. Woo, that felt painfully amazing, painfully painful, amazingly painful. There it is. But anyway, so I think that's the muscle that is where all my issues are coming from. So I've just been slowly working on it and trying to get everything back to where it's 100%. My shoulder feels great, but I do have an imbalance on my arms. The other day I was talking about that, and I said my right arm is weaker than my left arm when it comes to curling. I could do like 3, 4 more reps easy on my left, but when it comes to my right, it's like I get stuck. And I measured out my arms, and this arm is a half an inch bigger than this arm, and it's a big scar. Yeah, there's a reason why there's a huge imbalance, because I had surgery on this side on my pec, and I couldn't really use my arm, and I avoided using it at work. And anything I did in life, I would try to use my left arm. Plus, I'm left-handed, and I try to use my left for as much as I could. And that caused my right arm to atrophy, and I didn't care for almost 2 years, a solid year and a half. This has been 3 years since I had surgery. A solid year and a half, I could care less about working out. I'd come in here for maybe a week, take a month off, work out for 2 weeks, take 2 months off, come in here for 3 days, take 3 weeks off. Like, I just could care less about working out for 2 years, a year and a half for sure. And I just came in here and messed around a little bit and then leave, and then mess around a little bit, then leave. And I just didn't care. I was checked out. Like, I was like, man, I'll never build a power lift like I used to. I'll never be as strong as I used to be. And I come in here just to maybe, perhaps, and then reality would set in, and I'd be like, oh, this sucks. And that's whenever I just kind of gave up. And then 2 years later, something clicked in me, and it's like, well, get over it now. If you can't be a power lifter, you can at least be a bodybuilder. So let's put this gym to use and let's get to bodybuilding. So that's what inspired this channel a year ago. And that's what made me decide to do what I'm doing and throwing it out there, showing you guys how fat and gross I've been and the progress I'm making and the radical decisions I made to go on the diet that I went on to make the fastest amount of results that I made. And that's ultimately it. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. I'm going to finish rolling out my legs, and I got to do my arms and my calves and all that wonderful stuff. So I'm going to be here for a while. I hope you guys have a good Father's Day, and we will see y'all tomorrow. That one really hurt.